Then you want to play physical against them because you are a physical team when you're playing your best. How important is that thin line, and how quickly do you need to find that line of what is a penalty and what is a penalty, just given how dangerous their penalty is?
What is a what? A penalty? Did you say?
How they're going to call the game, what you can get away with.
We can't control how they're going to call the game. We're just going to. We have a game plan, and we're going to play it.
How do you feel it's best? I know you're not going to give away the secret, but Kucherov is one player on this team, but he had 128 points this year. We know all that. How do you check that guy? Like, what can your guys do to limit him? Is it chipping him? Is it lifting his stick? Is it just being near him? What is it that you can do to him?
Yeah, well, I'm not going to discuss how we're going to go about our business, Danny. We feel we have gone through the tendencies of that team, and obviously he's an important one, and have come up with the best, I think in our mind, entering game one, the best way to play, not just against him, but against that team. And we'll see if we can come through with it.
You've also talked about, I remember just last week in New York, getting in was key, and there was a confidence that this team got. Have you felt that this team, since it's gotten in and now realizes where it is there a different swagger? Is there a different confidence about your team right now?
Yeah, I don't think when we were going through some tough times after the deadline and all, there was no problem as far as how we felt about ourselves. Certainly when you're not winning, I guess you feel it a little bit. You want to make it happen. But as far as the swagger and the confidence of the club, that has not changed. I think we're thrilled to get the opportunity. We played some really good hockey coming down through the end here. Have won games in different ways. Have got some guys going that I think we need to get going. So we're in a good spot here. We just want to get through all this stuff here, and we want to get the puck dropped and play game one. And let's see where we go.
John, you referenced it a couple of times how many things you've gone through over the course of the season. How galvanizing has that process been, and how does it help beginning tonight?
Oh, well, this team is from day one, as far as all the things that has been in our room and just been around us, has handled himself tremendously. And some of and you have to call them, they are distractions. I think the club has really grown in handling situations like that. I think it's been a very honest group. I think we talk very honestly in that locker room to get through some things. We all understand one another now. It's been one of the most interesting years for me in that aspect of it, as some of the conversations that we've had to have, so we can keep the room clear of just minutia. I think it's helped us. It's been a real interesting year.
You guys were obviously one of the best penalty-killing teams in the league all season long. They had some success against you. How do you guys want to continue just doing what you're doing against them, or do you have to make some changes, as compared to what you?
We have thoughts how to go about it. Yeah.
So here you are again with Foligno and Jenner back in the middle. Can you just talk about how important those two guys are for you and how much center play is a concern for you?
Yeah. We need to get Nick in the middle. I think we need to get him some more offensive touches and get his offensive game going. I like the way it looked with the young kid in Borky, so we'll start there. Jens is in a spot where, and I think we've been able to play more of our lineup the last quarter of this year, more four lines with some of the play of the players. I think Jens is a good spot. I put him on left wing occasionally here in the last little while. I just like him in the middle. It keeps his legs moving. It was always a worry of mine with Jens if I had him at center that he would not be allowed to forecheck because you just have to play more of a 200-foot game as a center. Hasn't affected that part of his game at all, so he'll go back to the middle.
And this is the third year in a row you've been at this point. You've made the playoffs. Is it starting to feel like this team, this is where you belong? You should be here like every year.
We're a good team. Yeah, I have the utmost confidence in this club. It's a good group to be around. I think we're third or fourth in the National Hockey League the last 3 years as far as regular season wins. We got to figure out this crap here, the playoffs. And tonight's game one, and that's when we start going to work.
John, you have a young player in Teixeira in the lineup tonight. What have you seen in younger players through the years where they're maybe more ready to handle this? He's only played 2 games with you. To be able to come into a playoff series, how younger players can handle these things.
No nervousness. At least with this guy here, there's no nerves at all. I've always said, Eric, I think when you put young kids in these type of situations, I'm not sure what's better, having a young kid or a real experienced guy, because I think the experienced guy starts thinking about the pressure that comes into these situations in playoffs, where the young guy doesn't have a clue. He just wants to go play. That's all this kid wants to do, is go play. And I think has handled himself and presented himself in the proper way from day one since he's been here. And he's just, he's been in North America for just a little while. He's handled himself very well.
John, so many top seeds have gone down in this sport over the last decade. I think it makes hockey different than other sports, that the parity, the idea that how much of an underdog are you really? And I'm saying that, and you're playing a team with 62 wins, but why do you think it's happening so often, especially in the last 10 years, where you see top seeds go down?
I just think this game of hockey is such an instinctive game, and it kind of rides on certain situations in each game that can turn that game into a win or a loss. You can go through all the numbers, all the things, them against us, but when you play a 60-minute hockey game, and you go through the momentum swings and the surges and maybe the big plays out of someone unexpected, or a lousy play from someone unexpected, that changes games. So that's why it's always up for grabs. So as I said, guys, we just want. They're tired of listening to the coaches. They're tired of watching the video. They're tired of that crap of a regular season and getting in here. They want to play the game, and let's see where we stand.
I think, personally and on a team level, I think we've been playing well lately, so that'll be important for us to keep that confidence and try and get on a roll here early.
This series, this team, they're going to roll 4 lines at you. They're all potent lines. They can all score. How much responsibility or how big of a challenge is that for you guys, all of you, on the back end to try to slow this team down?
Yeah, no, they've proven all year that they can put the puck in the net, so it'll be important for us to try and play with the puck as much as we can, and try and play on their side of the red line, and kind of establish our game. I think that'll be important for us to have good gaps and try and take away their time and space.
They've got the last line change in these first 2 games. It's more than likely they'll look at you and Dean Kukin, who's a very inexperienced guy, especially when it comes to the Stanley Cup playoffs, and try to challenge you with their better players. How much do you embrace that challenge?
Yeah, I mean, this is what you want as a player, is to play in the playoffs, and it doesn't matter who you're playing against. You just want an opportunity to be in there and compete for your team. So, we're excited. We know that it's going to be a challenge, but we're up for it, and we've prepared this week for the series ahead. So, I know Dean and I are ready to go.
You guys kind of exhaled after you clinched against the Rangers and then finished out the season with a win. What's the mindset like now? What's the feeling like? Is it different than it was in the last couple of weeks when there was the uncertainty of if you were going to be able to get in here?
Yeah, I mean, playoffs are a different beast. It's there's a lot of excitement. We were thrilled, obviously, to clinch in New York, and we started looking ahead here to the playoffs. So we've been thinking about it for the last couple of days, and I think everyone's just ready to get on the ice and get it started.
I know this team's a juggernaut, but you also know that this is the one sport where it seems like the Giants fall in the playoffs, and everybody expects them to win, and I don't think people on the outside give you a chance. How much do you like that underdog role?
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. It doesn't matter who we're playing against. I think the big thing for us is to focus on our own game and what we need to do to be successful. So it doesn't really change depending on who we play. Obviously, there's a couple systematic changes, but I think we just want to keep that same mentality we've had all year of playing to our identity, and I think that'll give us the best chance.
One more thing for you, patience. It's a word that gets thrown around all the time, but how important will it be to play that way consistently in this series?
Yeah, definitely. You look at a lot of goals they scored this year, a lot of odd man rushes and rush chances. So that'll be big for us to just play within ourselves and just stick to the game plan.
Than usual.
Yes and no. I think the difference is it's not a one game kind of showdown. It was actually almost harder down the stretch to go to bed. At normal time I was staying up pretty late because every game was almost a do or die situation where obviously every game means a lot in this series, but it is a series, and it's it's now a game of chess instead of checkers. So that's kind of the way that we're looking at it, and I know we're all really excited.
Now, what was in this nice closing run that you had, winning 7 of 8? What were the cornerstone elements in your game and the collective game that you'd have to replicate tonight?
I think, this team plays really well defensively. We play very stingy, and we have a great back end, and our forwards are committed on the D side of the puck. But I think the big thing was, we just loosened up a little bit and played a little bit more offensive hockey that we're capable of playing. We'd let our skill take over a little more, and you don't want that to be your first thing. You want the work and the structure of your game to be first, but then you want to let that skill come out. So obviously we're playing a very talented team, and we're going to need to be good defensively here, but at the same time we want to use our skill and when it's time and play a smart, mature game.
I saw that in the paper this morning they're saying that you don't want to be known as an underdog team. Why is that? Why you want to make sure that underdog word is not going to be in this resume?
I'm not even going to really address that, to be honest. It's something that we're not buying into, so we're worried about ourselves, and we believe in our team and what we have in here. And obviously we have a very good opponent who absolutely lit up the regular season, but this is a brand new season now, and we were confident with the group we have in here that it's anybody's series.
Is it going to be even bigger to be ready at the start of the playoff and maybe try to win that first game?
Of course. When you go on the road to start the playoffs, it's a great opportunity. You take one on the road. You split the first two. That's a huge thing. So we want to obviously win both, but winning one, getting started tonight with a win would be obviously it's big to win game one of every series of your series. So that's what we're obviously looking to do. We're looking to win every game this playoff, but we know how important these road games are.
It will put it out in their minds if you.
I'm not going to speculate into we're not going to. One thing we've talked about is not thinking about the head stuff. It doesn't matter if it's us or them or whatever. We're just worried about playing our game and getting playing the way that we are capable of playing, and that will give us the best chance to win, obviously.